Oklahoma City has gone 1 of 3 from beyond the arc so far in the game. So the Thunder 5 right now. DJ Augustine out there at Jordan. Then there's Anthony Morrow. Then it's Enes Kanter. And it's McGary in at the fourth.
Boy, guys, they've shown some great passing on their last few trips down the floor. Excellent.
4 straight passes leading to scores. Great team play.
A lot of ferocious dunkers in the NBA, but what could you say about Westbrook as maybe the top dunker right now on that list?
Well, the ferocity, the tenacity. I mean, he's almost angry when he takes it to the basket the way he does. I think that's part of what makes him so special.
Pass to Howard. And it's Rondo in the corner. Screen by Howard. Rondo kicks to Howard. And pushing it up here. Here is Oklahoma City. Augustine's running. Just 5 to shoot. From the wing, Westbrook with the block. They get a hand on it. Out of bounds. Oklahoma City takes possession.
And a moment now to see some numbers for Rondo. Averaging 5 points per game, 4 assists, and 3 rebounds. And guys, no question, he's a guy with some talent. But honestly, even he'd like to see those numbers improve.
And all indications are that he's been working hard on his game. It just hasn't shown up in the box score yet.
Here's McGary. No scoring yet from him, but that's likely to change. Out left to the wing. Morrow dishes to Jordan. And the rebound goes to Howard. Howard's got his 3rd rebound tonight. Pass to Ariza. Now here's LeBron. He's covered closely. The turnaround jumper. Jordan with the rebound.
The mechanics totally out of whack right now. He's lost his feel for the shot.
Yeah, he really has. I mean, just totally out of sync. I mean, you can just see it in the numbers. Nothing going down for him right now. He's going to play his way right onto the bench and out of the game if he continues to shoot it like he has so far in this quarter.
The dish to Morrow. And he sinks that one, hitting the back of the rim on the way in. Morrow's got his 3rd bucket of the night. Oklahoma City comes into this one after the win against Memphis.
And how about the game plan that was constructed for that one? I mean, it was apparent how powerless the D was to stop it.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it. I mean, they just didn't have an answer for anything they threw at him. He's certainly not been at his best this quarter. And that's an understatement.
Augustine. It's hauled in by Los Angeles. This game coming on the heels of their win against the Kings.
And they ran their offense nearly to perfection in that one. Very few possessions were wasted.
Yeah, they put the mute button on them that time. I mean, in front of a hostile crowd, they never let the fans get going. They silenced them over and over again with big, timely shots.
Well, LeBron had kind of a slow start to his season, his return to Cleveland last year.
Yeah, he got off to a bit of a slow start. He had some nagging-type injuries, but things turned around, and LeBron was eventually able to get the clubhouse atmosphere where he wanted.
Now a timeout called by Oklahoma City.
And that atmosphere that LeBron was after, I mean, he described it as wanting a family-like atmosphere.
Young's checked in for the Lakers. Ken Bazemore comes in for Russell Westbrook. And a switch here also for Oklahoma City. Miller's checked in. Oklahoma City's gone just 1 of 4 from 3-point range here in the first.
And to touch on the Cleveland atmosphere, you know, you could see as the season unfolded it became a big part of what LeBron was able to accomplish in Miami, starting to work itself into that roster.
And the slam dunk by Bazemore.
That is up-tempo basketball at its best. So much easier to operate in the open court when a steal triggers the break.
And really, basketball is about rhythm, and that allows your offense to flow better. Now let's see if they can build on it and keep this lead.
Kanter, and he uses the glass on the layup. Kanter's got the game tied up here for the Thunder.
His eyes were wide open there, guys. Excellent vision to see they had an open shot outside and get it there.
Rondo passes to Young. It's good. He makes his first shot of the game.
And that's his strong suit, the ability to find his way through the D and finish at the rim.
Kanter sets the pick for Augustine. He kicks to Kanter, passes it to McGarry. Miller dishes to McGarry. Augustine with it. 14 points from him the last game against Memphis. Another shot. And so he draws the foul on the shot. A trip to the line to shoot two.
Yeah, way to play in attack mode and get to the line.
And, you know, the defense gets their money's worth on that foul, stopping the layup and not giving up the and one.
Yeah, and a big year for Enes Kanter last season. I mean, traded from the Jazz to the Thunder and finally saw the minutes that he was hoping for.
That free throw missing. And Kanter did play well with the increased minutes last season, Clark. Averaged a double-double after the trade.
I think it was a great fit for him in Oklahoma City. He still has work to do, but now that he feels like he's in the right environment, I think we're going to see that great potential of his start to come to fruition.
He's off on the second. The Lakers in the lead. Young for three. They get it back. And it's Howard finishing it off.
And, guys, isn't it great to see a player who works that hard on the glass at both ends?
Well said, G. That's the way he has built, you know, his reputation. Clark grinding away 100% effort all the time.
And, you know, Kevin, all that effort pays off. How many of those spectacular putback jams do we see from this guy? A bunch. Did not need two hands for that slam.
You know, he can save the other hand for the next time.
One will do just fine.
Yeah, but just to switch it up a little bit.
Screen by Howard. Here's Young, and the Lakers tack on two more.
A lot of space right there to get that shot off.
Not a very good job of the defender getting over the top of that screen in that particular play.
And that does it for the first quarter. Lakers lead by 4. The second quarter coming up right after this break, so don't go anywhere. And of course, as we've always seen with LeBron James, it's not just about the numbers, but his tremendous, tremendous leadership. Well, that there is straight talk from a man who does not pretend. LeBron James with a textbook example how to take responsibility and lead.
And Kevin, that's why he is the king. He doesn't say, hey, I'm just one of the 5 guys. No, he knows who he is and what he has to do. Bottom line, he's the man. Climb on my shoulders, and I'm going to take you to the promised land.
And the first quarter is in the books. Second about ready to get underway. And taking a look at Los Angeles' performance here, what have they been doing or not doing?
Defense paying huge dividends for them through the first.
Excellent hustle, and you know the coach has to be pleased with that effort at the defensive end.
And now let's check out the lineups courtesy of Gatorade, all fueled up and ready to go. Here's the second quarter of play. Taking a look at Los Angeles. We've got Nick Young. Brandon Bass is out there with Trevor Ariza. Then there's Kent Bazemore. And it's Rondo in at the 1. Miller kicks to Gasol. The shot no good. So Los Angeles will take it the other way. Looking ahead, they've got the Jazz coming into town for the next game. They'll find themselves in the middle of this string of 3 straight at home. Oklahoma City trailing. Miller outside. For three, Smith. And that one's good. Smith's got 5 points so far. Well, Clark, we've seen the lead change hands quite a bit in this one.
Yeah, we sure have. I mean, it's been a bit of a windshield wiper game. I mean, back and forth, the lead has gone 5 times, so no one in clear control yet.
And, guys, I think each team knows they can win this game, just a matter who can catch that momentum.
Kicks it to Young from downtown. Again, Young missing. Thunder have gone 2 of 3 from the field here to open the second quarter. There's a screen by Cantor. And it's Miller penetrating. Dishes it to Gasol. Kept alive. Cantor. That's in. That's his 5th field goal. He's shooting a hot 71%. 5 for 7. Lakers trail by 3. They could use a big shot here to get this offense going.
Sure could, Kev. I mean, too many empty trips. They need some points.
Young passes to Rondo. Leaves the dishes to Bazemore. And he can't stop the run as he misses. Thunder have gone 3 of their first 5 shots to drop here in the second quarter. Miller kicks to Knight. That's in, coming off an assist from Miller. Now it's a 5-point Oklahoma City lead.
You know, of the last 6 baskets, 5 have come on the interior. This is major smash mouth basketball, guys.
All about imposing your will offensively, getting exactly the kind of looks their coach drew up.
So timeout called here, the first for Los Angeles.
And Andre Miller, what a virtuoso floor general he has been. By far the career leader in assists among active players. Over 1,000 more assists than the next guy on the list, which is Chris Paul.
Catching up on the changes for Los Angeles. James checked in for Young. Kobe comes in for Kent Bazemore. And Russell Westbrook is subbed in for Rajon Rondo. Jordan, he's checked in for Oklahoma City. Outside Westbrook. Here's Kobe. Bounces high off the rim and drops. Bryant's got his second bucket. Getting back to Miller last year, he was 16th in the league, which is pretty remarkable.
Yeah, a couple of things happened. I thought he slowed down a little and he was playing behind John Wall. That led to the fewest minutes per game of his career, and the rest of his stats kind of followed suit.
Westbrook dishes to LeBron. And a little under 3.5 minutes elapsed in the second quarter of play. That's good. A tough shooting night. He's 2 for 8 and looking for more. Miller kicks to Jordan. Drops in the layup for 2. Jordan's got the lead back up to 5 now for the Thunder.
Boy, I tell you what, nice little run here they're going on.
And getting to the 10 has been the key there. Getting point-blank looks time and time again.
Here's James. Good. Nice assist from Westbrook. 6 points for LeBron.
He presents a defender with a serious challenge, always.
Jordan kicks to Knight. The feed to Miller. Oklahoma City moving the ball around. Knight in the corner. Smith with a screen on James. It's Knight with the drive. Great D that time from LeBron. Lakers trail by 3. Here's Bryant. Goes right through for bucket number 3. He's a perfect 3 for 3 to start.
You know, he doesn't have much quickness, but he'll still attack the rim when given the chance.
Kobe against Knight. Bryant with the rebound.
Even though he isn't having the best of games from the floor, it hasn't seemed to hurt him.
And here's Westbrook from the arc. Here's Bass. And terrific work on the offensive glass, and he picks up 2. Bass has got his first basket. Guys, no one team gaining control early on.
Give and take, back and forth, the whole way thus far.
Yeah, and you look at the lead changes, 6 already.
Here's Gasol. Lays it up and in on the nice reverse.
Oh, terrific way to finish that move there, going to the basket.
Now here's Westbrook. A 24-point outing in their last game against Sacramento.
You know, and in watching that game, he did a really nice job of passing the basketball, scoring, and setting up his teammates.
And it's Miller penetrating. Outside Jordan. Fires for three. And again, Oklahoma City with the triple.
Well, here in the second, not as listless. They're showing some signs of life offensively.
You know, steadying themselves. After a tough start, they're back on track.
James outside. Lets it go from 11. It's rebounded by Oklahoma City. Gasol's got 6 rebounds now in the game. Knight against Westbrook. Knight into the lane. There's the pass to Jordan. Inside, Miller gets to Gasol. Can't get it to go. So Los Angeles will take it the other way.
No doubt he's struggling right now from the field. Let's see if he can get it going this quarter. Yeah, really good defensive play to cut him off there and square up.
Excellent example of toughness and physicality on defense. Got his nose right in the middle of things and made a play.
Brown is checked in for Trevor Ariza. And Oklahoma City also making a switch. McGarry's checked in for Andre Miller. And Gasol, here we go. He feeds it to Jordan. Outside Knight from past the arc, and that one's good. Knight's got 7 points here in this quarter.
These defenders had better start closing out on those shooters.
That's 2 in a row, and we call that a streak.
Los Angeles calls timeout. And as the coaches go to the clipboard to outline their strategy during the timeout, the players getting a chance to rehydrate with some Gatorade. That's key to staying fresh all the way to the final whistle.
And Kevin, it really is. And every one of these players knows it. They're all making sure to stay hydrated. It's impossible to play your A game if you're not getting enough to drink, especially towards the end of games when the physical toll of a long contest really starts to add up.
Dwight Howard's checked in for the Lakers. LeBron passes to Westbrook. There's the killer two-handed slam.
And that's some inspiration. Steals, blocks, and a big dunk. Those are ways that you can really change the momentum in a game.
Well, they got to chip away, Clark, get that deficit, and no doubt that'll help.
And that's what he's out there for, guys. I mean, he is an electrifying player, no doubt.
They set the screen. Augustine, no luck.
And a lot of teams are looking for coaches that embrace analytics and look at data-driven approaches. Coach Scott is not one of those guys. He's an old-school coach who goes with his own perception.
The Thunder leading by 3. To the middle. Here's Jordan. And good. Coming in on the assist by DJ Augustine.
And fellas, in this quarter, he's improved on what was already a very good performance in period number 1.
Westbrook against Augustine. Westbrook dishes to James. Over in the corner, Brown. Off the mark there with the three-point shot. Oklahoma City's gotten it going from downtown in the second quarter. They're 3 of 3 on three-pointers. Morrow, no good.
Not sure why he keeps trying his luck from deep here. It's just not his night.
They grabbed their own miss. Out to Kobe. Fires from deep. Not happening that time. His second miss in 5 shots. Thunder shooting 59% here in the second quarter. They're playing with great confidence. And Augustine kicks to Gasol. And the shot is long. Lakers trail by 5. Bryant gets a wide open look. Good on the three-point shot. Bryant's got 7 points here in this quarter.
And he is really in a zone right now, playing and scoring with confidence.
Jordan against Kobe. Now here's Jordan. Defense is right there. Howard with the steal. And now Westbrook pushing it up. No one back to stop him. Hammers it home to polish off the break.
And that almost feels like 2 buckets coming off the steal like it did.
And especially the fact that it now ties the game. The lead was about to be stretched out, and instead, it's back even.
Here's Gasol. Nails it from the high post. Gasol's got 6 points.
And a big height advantage right there.
You know, it's tough to bring a big man that far away from the goal, but that might be a mismatch they're willing to live with.
Here's LeBron. It's rebounded by Oklahoma City. They went to Los Angeles for their last meeting with the Lakers and came out with a victory.
And the previous meeting was a win for them and a huge day for the bench. The reserves really stepped it up with their scoring.
Greg, we know how important it is when you can go to your reserves without much drop-off in production. It gives you a big advantage. I know they'd love to see that again tonight.
And guys, what do you think about the offensive approach we've seen so far for Oklahoma City?
Guys, they are dialed in from beyond right now. They didn't waste any time getting into a groove in this game.
They also haven't been afraid to take it strong to the hoop early on tonight. I like that.
First one falls for him.
Looking at the game for the Wizard, he's got 10 points, and he's chalked up 1 3-pointer on the day as well.
And Clark, I'm sure that won't be the last one. A lot of times he can get hot and stay hot from beyond.
Catching up on the changes for Los Angeles. Nick Young's checked in for Brown. Ellington comes in for Kobe. Rajon Rondo is subbed in for Russell Westbrook. He hits one, then misses the second attempt from the free throw line.
And guys, it looked like Nick Young had finally put it all together. I mean, he had a huge campaign 2 years ago, signs a new 4-year deal. Then last year, disaster strikes. I mean, he provided very little to the team outside of shooting the basketball. And even with that, he dropped to a career worst, 37% from the field.
Kanter with a screen on Rondo. And again, no good by Oklahoma City.
Hey, they got the shot they wanted off of that pick, but it just doesn't fall.
Yeah, it didn't go down, but you'll take that shot every single time, Greg. That's good offense. That's the 3rd bucket in a row from the paint. This defense needs to clog those lanes in the middle much more effectively.
You just cannot allow the offense to have that quality of a look each and every possession.
Well, Greg, getting back to Young, it's tough to completely judge him on last year's numbers because he was fighting through knee injuries, ankle injuries, all kinds of things. Clark only played 42 games.
Yeah, but when he's right, he can light it up. I mean, he's a go-to scorer, but he just never got right last season. Well, that's an excellent challenge right there. Good job contesting that shot by the defender.
Augustine passes to Jordan. The shot is off. Great D that time from LeBron. Feeds it to Ellington from deep. It's rebounded by Oklahoma City. This game is finished. They'll be off to Portland taking on the Trailblazers. That matchup falls in the middle game of this 3-game trip. Augustine dishes to Kanter, and that one's good. Now it's a 4-point Oklahoma City lead.
And at the offensive end, he's done about as much as they could have hoped for today.
LeBron outside. 23 seconds left to play here in the second quarter. And stolen by Jordan. To the left side wing. Morrow. And it's good. Assisting on the play was Jordan. Jordan's got his 3rd assist on the night. Here's Rondo. Can they get it? He hits the shot at the very last second.
Goodness!
Woo!
The pressure on him in those circumstances was massive.
Man, what pressure? You guys are over-exaggerating here. I mean, you can't rattle this guy, no matter what the situation is.
And the first half comes to a close. We've got a close game going on here. It's the Thunder up by 4. And now let's catch up with Doris Burke, who's standing by on the sideline. Doris?
Yes, I'm here with Josh Smith. And Josh, what was the key to how well this team played offensively during that first half?
Just the way we ran our offense. We weren't lethargic. We ran it with great pace. We found the open man. We were sharing the basketball. Got to move from side to side and got some easy buckets.
Josh, plenty of elements there for a good offensive game. Thanks for the time. Back to you guys.
Thank you, Doris, and we'll be back for the third quarter of action following halftime.
It's the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Ernie Johnson here again with Kenny Smith and Shaquille O'Neal. We welcome you back to the 2K Sports Halftime Show. A competitive matchup for Oklahoma City in the first quarter. Their largest deficit of the period was just 4 points. They were right there within shouting distance the entire time. They had a nice burst of energy once they got to the second quarter and ended the half holding on to a 4-point lead. Kenny, let's get your take on Oklahoma City.
Well, they were consistent from downtown. The playmakers found open shooters, and the shooters delivered and knocked down shots on a high level. In some ways, it came down to confidence. We'll see if they have that same swagger in the second half.
Shaq, what was your takeaway on the Lakers?
It will really help their cause to get to the line more. It's a close game. Every point matters. The team that usually wins a game like this is the more aggressive team, pushing the ball, taking it hard to the paint. That's the team that's going to get rewarded.
And that'll do it for now as we send you back to Kevin Harlan for the start of the second half.